Are we on?
Oh, shoot. Hello. I didn't know we were on.
Well, we are now.
Hello, everybody.
We want to see ourselves, right?
Welcome to the Wildflowers. We're trying out a new camera.
And guess what? We don't need to use this anymore.
Thank God.
Yeah. Why?
It was just a source of aggravation.
Okay.
Turn it over. Then one time it wasn't keeping accurate time. Remember we almost ran out of time?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Okay.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Well, we're using a new camera. Well, it's Peggy's
Yes.
new video camera. You want to talk about it a little bit?
Okay.
Do you want to say why we have
Well, okay, so in the past we've always used my regular camera, my Lumix, to record, but it will only record for 30 minutes. So I finally broke down and bought a camcorder, which, by the way, the last time I had one, it was like this big and I had to put it on my shoulder, and this one weighs 1 pound, I think 1.4 pounds,
yes, yeah.
and it's this big, it's light as a feather, it's a little tiny thing. So,
And do you know how to work it? Did you read them?
yeah, I did a lot of reading. I practiced. Carol and I did a practice run the other day on the road book events.
Yep.
The day before, I went to my sister Maureen's house, and along with her and my brother-in-law Roy, because the manual that they give you with the camera doesn't tell you anything. So,
Right.
so anyway, so we'll hope for the best and see how long the battery's supposed to last a long time. But it's a little scary. I'm a little scared.
Why?
I don't know. We might have a do-over.
Well,
But anyway,
Just have to drink more wine.
Well, the reason you're hearing music in the background, it's Burt Bacharach, who just passed away this week, and I just wanted to acknowledge that because he's just made so many songs. The Shirelles did "Baby It's You," and Gene Pitney, and but
Dionne Warwick.
Dionne Warwick collaborated with her so much.
Yeah.
he loved Dionne Warwick, and actually there is a document. The way to San
We
Jose.
grew up with that music, and Carol also.
Yeah.
Like we grew up
Just
with it.
love it.
Not
And the
you,
only
'cause you're a baby.
I'm too young. No, I know Burt Bacharach.
Yeah, I know, but you know, like we were young teenagers.
Well,
when
I
that was
mentioned it the other
popular.
night when I was with all my kids, and Andrew, my son-in-law, Natasha's sort of husband, they've been together for so long, and he actually said the reason he knew Burt Bacharach is from Austin Powers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we're going to stop
Yeah.
now, but I just wanted to give a shout out.
It's nice to listen to the music. Though. It's distracting.
Yeah, it is.
Now I
distracting.
noticed you're using a remote control. When we first started you doing this with music, I had to turn it on and off.
Well, that was on my laptop. No, that was on my laptop.
Oh, okay. So that was nice to have.
Yes, that was
Oh, well, that was music that we used as an intro before my brother-in-law Roy made the real intro for
Yes.
us.
right.
So.
Exactly.
Which I love. I love that intro. Every time it comes on, it makes me happy.
Me too.
no, you did a good job.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And today's also
Super Bowl Sunday.
exactly.
What do you guys do for Super Bowl besides the
I know
podcast?
Jason's making some food. I don't know if he's hosting it or not, but I don't usually do anything for Super Bowl Sunday.
You don't watch the Puppy Bowl?
No, I don't.
We
I actually
used to
do
watch the Puppy
halftime.
Bowl, but the girls now think they're outgrowing the Puppy Bowl.
Yeah, I like the. Oh,
Bless you.
She got
Sorry.
it.
Okay.
She's choking. No, I try to watch the halftime. That's what
It's supposed to be Rihanna.
Rihanna, yeah. So we'll see how that
Yeah,
goes.
she hasn't performed in 4 years.
This is the first time I think since her baby that
She said 4 years.
Yeah.
And that baby's not 4 years
Is
old.
it? I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe.
But yeah.
My kids always watch the Puppy Bowl,
Wow.
so which is boring too.
Yeah.
Well, I
It's
feel
cute. It's
bad.
not as boring as football.
Yeah, I feel bad for the mom who has a son on each team.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, they were fine with it. They interviewed the parents the other day.
Well, it's like the mom, like you're gonna be like, yeah, and so
We don't watch the Super Bowl at all,
right.
and we're
Right.
just not a sports kind of household, which is fine with me.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm so happy my husband's not really into all those sports.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's good.
I do have a question for you guys. Do you know who's in the Super Bowl?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
the Eagles and the Chiefs.
Okay. I
Yeah.
knew it was
Philadelphia Eagles.
All right, I didn't know who
Kansas City
the
Chiefs.
other
And I
team was,
only
yeah.
really made myself know it because I looked at the paper this morning. So
I was there.
They talk about it on the news for weeks, for the
It's
past
so
2
much.
weeks.
It's like, oh.
Everybody, even
Yeah.
the weatherman was talking about it. Everybody was
Yeah.
talking
I
about
know
the
it's a big
excitement.
deal, but
Jake
it's-
Tapper
yeah.
was talking
Yeah.
about it relentlessly, and
yeah, no,
you know, yeah, we never watched the Super Bowl, but this year Jessica and Peter are gonna watch part of it because Peter brought a box or something.
Yes.
You know how you do
yeah,
that?
yeah, right,
So
yeah.
she said, you know, they have some skin in the game, but
Right.
they'll be watching the Puppy Bowl. And now the Puppy Bowl is on 3 different networks.
Yes,
It's so
it is.
popular.
It's all over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
used to watch that a lot.
Right,
And
it
is it
said-
that just the puppies are running around?
yeah, they're running around and they play with each other and.
They do it with kittens too. They have a kitten
Oh, do they?
bowl as
Yeah.
well.
No, I don't know.
I would be bored. I'll watch my dogs for
Right,
hours,
yeah.
but I don't know that I would get into that. But
Yeah.
so, well, here we are.
So that's what we're doing Super Bowl Sunday. Not exciting. It's
No.
always
No.
most of the country will be celebrating. We're like,
Well, Riley asked me if I would come up tonight, so she
Oh,
said,
okay.
Grandma, come up for Super Bowl Sunday.
Okay,
So,
very cool.
we'll
Well,
see.
you know what? Let's drink some more.
Sounds good to me.
You know, because if it's books, booze, and banter, this is the booze part. So
Okay.
this is El Bombero. I've never tried it before. It's from Spain.
which I'm going to this year.
Yes, you are. And here, I'll take your glass. And this, oh, I'm sorry, Miss Peggy. I'm sorry, Miss Peggy.
Oh my gosh, you're making a mess. Let me get a paper
I
towel.
mean,
There's napkin.
paper towels?
Just use the napkin on the kitchen
what
table.
kind of wine is this?
This is, oops.
Baby.
I've never,
twist it, yeah.
okay, I've never
Baby
had
too.
this before. This is a, okay. I've got the card. Thank you, Miss Peggy.
Okay.
A garnacha, is that how you would say that?
Ganache.
Ganache.
Yeah, and a Carinena,
Smells good.
Spain. And if you like big flavored reds, you'll love
I
this
do.
huge customer favorite. Okay, so the aroma is red berry, cinnamon spice, and black currant.
Oh, this sounds good.
And the taste is luscious, juicy mouthfuls of sun-ripened blackberry, raspberry, and cherry with a spicy, velvety finish.
El
So-
Bombero. What
so-
is Bombero mean?
Good question. Let's see if I have any information on that.
I don't know actually. That's
Well,
okay. Let's just
anyway,
taste it.
yeah, we're gonna taste it.
I'm getting over a cold, so but I can still smell this. So it
that's
is
all
very
right.
strong.
So who's
Well,
got something going on?
I do because it's I have 2 birthdays. I want to do post birthday to my brother-in-law Fergal. His birthday was yesterday.
Oh,
And
okay.
again to my husband, whose birthday is this week. I did it last time, but it's
Oh,
officially.
He had 2 happy birthdays.
2 birthdays.
And Valentine's Day. Happy
Yes.
Valentine's
Happy
Day.
Valentine's Day. Happy
ladies.
birthday, Niall and Fergal, you said?
Fergal, that's my
Okay.
brother-in-law. He's awesome. Okay.
I like this. Ooh, I like it's dry. That makes me happy.
This is right. This is nice.
It is good. I love the smell of it.
Let's show you that.
It
Okay.
is very dry though.
Is it too
Which is-
dry for
No,
you?
I like it though. I like a dry
Oh.
wine. You and I like dry wines.
Yes.
So do I.
Well, there we go.
It's good.
Do we
It's
have...
a little light.
It is like
Really? You think so?
yes.
Not too light. It's good. I like it.
We use such great adjectives.
Well,
I know.
I'm just
We're so
relieved.
well versed in wine.
Exactly.
I'm just relieved that this was my 3rd time I would be out if it was a wine that they didn't like. So
no, yeah, no.
14
you
and a
had to
half
deliver
percent
this
alcohol.
time. How much?
You know, 14 and a half.
Wow.
I'm finding out, because now you brought that to my attention.
You're
A lot of the wines are like 12, 12 and a half. But most of the ones I've been looking at are 14 or 14 and a
the
half.
ones that we pick out.
Yeah.
Do you know how much this would cost if you were to buy it?
$15.
Oh, that's great.
Yes. Yeah, thank you for asking because I did write that down and I
That
forgot
is
to
very
mention
good.
it.
That's
But
not a bad because I would buy this one again.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
All right. So what are you giving it?
I am going to give this. Wow. I'd be hard pressed to give it a 5, but
Yeah, I wouldn't
No,
get it.
I don't think it's a
a 4.5.
Oh, okay.
Huh?
I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, no, it's very
Okay.
good.
All right, Peggy.
I would give it maybe 3.75.
I'll go 4 stars. 4 wildflowers. Sorry, 4
Okay.
wildflowers.
Oh yes, wildflowers. Okay. All right. So 3.75, 4.5, 3. What?
4.
4. Just 4.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, real quick. Shoot. I left out my other brother-in-law, Sean.
Sean.
I'm sorry, Sean. Happy birthday to you, too.
Oh, okay.
He's awesome as well.
Okay. Happy
Thank
birthday,
you,
Sean.
sir.
How does he
His
spell
is-
his name?
Well, he's English, and he spells it S-E-A-N.
Okay.
So he's his family's from England, and he's
All
from
right.
England, but he lives in Ireland. So
All right.
his was the 6th of February. We have a lot of February birthdays
Well,
in my
yeah.
family.
Matt was his birthday was February 9th, but I think I gave a shout out the last time.
Did you?
Unfortunately, on his birthday, his grandfather
I
passed
know that
away.
was sad.
To Grandpa Walsh.
Yes.
Yeah, we're just gonna keep raising our glasses.
That is okay. Oh, it's
But yeah,
Condolences.
he passed away, but he had lived a long life and very good life, and it was very very sad that that's my son. He's cooking something upstairs with the blender. It sounds like, or the Cuisinart.
Oh.
But it's
The
sad
chopper.
for Matt, to lose somebody
On your
close on your
birthday.
birthday. That's a hard thing to
And
do.
Matt's sister's birthday was yesterday when they buried him. So
Oh, so they
yeah.
both got. Well, they had to share it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what Matt's mom was saying. She goes, it's just the timing, and leave it to my father. She said.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
anyway, but anyway.
Yeah.
So there we have it. Ugh.
Alrighty. So, should we talk books now?
Yes, we should talk books
I
now.
think
Okay.
that's a really good idea.
love
We've
books.
had a lot of people. Before we start, I want to just give shout outs because I had a few people that I know of pick up the books that we recommended.
That's awesome.
My sister-in-law Anne picked up the book that you talked
Lucy
about,
by the
Sea, and she said that she loved it so much that she went out and got more by that author. So
Elizabeth Strout.
you loved.
I love
you
her
read
books. I
raved
love
and raved
all
and
of her
raved. So you
books.
sold
She's-
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I know my mom who watches us, she picked up the Many Daughters of a Fong Moy.
Oh,
And
awesome.
she just finished it and she loved it as well. So,
All right.
that's it. So we're giving some good shout out recommendations. This is a
Awesome.
book that I recently finished. It's called The Rain Heron. It's a
I
novel.
love the title.
It was very,
Very
captivating.
unique.
It's by Robbie Arnott, and I believe he's an Australian author. This came out in 2020, and the publisher is FSG Originals. He had another novel apparently called Flames. I never read that. I don't know if any of you have. But this is the way I would describe it. It's deals with animals, mythical, animals. It's kind of almost post-apocalyptic, but not really, not apocalyptic. It's after the
My
nation.
kind of book.
That's right. It's like after.
I heard that.
It seems like there's. It takes place after democracy kind of falls, I think. And there's a lot of coups going on, and it's kind of
It takes place where
Oh, like present day.
present day. Well, yeah.
I was
And
gonna say something like that.
so it's set in a time of rebellion, right? Where
Yeah.
it's really not just safe to just be, living the way you've always been accustomed to so long. And it deals with two strong female characters that are linked together by circumstance and a mythical creature, a bird called the Rain Heron.
This is right up your alley.
Okay, yes it is.
And so one of the women that we meet first, you meet her name is Ren, R-E-N, and she's an older woman living in wilderness, and she's hiding. Like you almost get the sense that she's escaping from whatever world she lived or whatever
Right.
life she lived. And you don't learn too much about her backstory until there's a little end, which I'll talk about it later. But she's very self-sufficient mostly. And later on, like I said, the author reveals something about her thing which ties a lot together, which I kind of like. There's also another character named Zoe. You meet Zoe first as a young girl, where she's living with her aunt after her mom died, and they live in a seaside town, and the village there. Her aunt and everyone who kind of lives there and makes their living off of the sea are safeguarding a secret, and how they make their living, and the outside world wants in on it. They want investors to come in, but nobody can figure out how they do what they do, and nobody will spill this secret. So Zoe grows up in this sort of environment, and later on when we
It's something that they make happen?
yes.
Oh, okay.
And later on, Peggy's intrigued.
I know.
And later on, we meet her as like a young 20. They don't really say ages, but I get the impression she's like in her 20s. You know, later on, as Lieutenant Harker, she's joined the rebellion now, the movement here, and she's, you know, her personality is shaped by her circumstances from before, and definitely she's a very challenging character, you know. And so these two women, Ren and Zoe, are thrown together, right, by this myth. And I say myth because it's this of the Rain Heron. Now the Rain Heron is what the story of it is. The myth is that it has the power to harness the weather, right? So it can bring great abundance to fields or to people. Like you could have beautiful crops, you know, or it could just turn on a dime and you will be desolate. You know, your lands will be desolate. And so nobody really understands. You can't harness this. You know, how, you know, if you're in the favor of the Rain Heron, good. If you're not, then you're basically screwed. You know, you're gonna not be able to make any sort of living. So, Ren has a secret regarding the Rain Heron, and Zoe, who's now Lieutenant Harker, is charged with trying to get to the bottom of this myth. And so their paths kind of cross. And, you know, I don't want to say much more because you're going to give it away. The style of this book, you know, it's a quick read, very quick. And there's no quotes. So, like, there's no, as far as like quotation marks. So I just picked up on that. And I don't know if that's something, I don't know if he did that in his other book or if that's something like, because we're in a time of deconstruction and rebellion where things go out the window, maybe stylistically it's just kind of like,
Isn't that the road was like that too? Like,
The road had no chapters.
So maybe that had something to do with it. I didn't look into it, but there's a very interesting twist at the end that I didn't see coming.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
And again, furthering the connection between, you know, these women, which I thought was really cool. So that's my take of it. I gave it like a 4 out of 5 Wildflowers, which to me is good. Is very good. You know, I'm really particular with my books. And I, like I said, breeze through this. I would definitely recommend this.
Where did you hear about this book? I never heard of it.
I never heard of it either. I picked it up in Barnes & Noble. I like just looking randomly, and it wasn't end capped out. It wasn't on display. It was, and I just went and
you used the Theodore's bookmark. No, that's fine.
I don't live near Theodore, so I'm always not. So I went to Barnes & Noble, and it just caught. It was spying down. I said, "Oh, Rain Heron. That sounds like an interesting title." And I
was it in science fiction?
No, it's in regular fiction.
Oh, really?
Yeah, regular fiction. So if anybody wants to borrow it, you're more than welcome.
I do, but then I can't.
You'll read that in 2 days.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna borrow it because it sounds like something right up my alley.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know why because they're not connected at all. But when you were talking about this book, and it really the storylines are different. I don't know this book that I read about 2 years ago called The Doomsday Book of Fairy Tales came to my mind, and that was a very good book too.
I never heard
that was.
Not to put you on
It
the
was
spot.
actually hard to find that book. I had a hard time. I had heard about it from someplace, and I remember I was saying, "Oh my God, where am I going to find this book?" But I did finally find a place to order it from.
Oh, cool.
And it was a good. It was very good, post-apocalyptic, and
So this
you
is
know.
again the Rain Heron.
The Rain Heron by Robbie Arnott, and it's not like The Road. Okay, so don't like that.
No.
The coup. It's really more of a backdrop into what's going on. Whereas I felt The Road was very like
Dark,
visceral, and like I didn't want to read some of it. Sometimes I was like, no, I can't go in. And I still have. I think I got PTSD from that book. I really do. There were scenes of that book.
Did you watch the movie?
No, I won't watch the movie. I can't watch it because
it wasn't as good as the book, but it was good.
No,
I love Viggo
really
Mortensen
stayed
anyway.
with me.
Love him. He has another book I love.
Yeah, I said that, the Flame. He's got another book, Flame. So I didn't read that. But
interesting.
There, but I think Flame won an award because there's something in the back that it won some sort of writer's award. So yeah. Anyway, so There you are.
No,
I think
awesome.
you're gonna. I thought of you as
Yeah.
I was gonna say Peggy's gonna like this book.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot. Right now,
Yeah.
I'm reading Stephen King's latest book, Fairy
Oh,
Tales.
okay.
That's like that fat.
Yes.
So, and this week I was very lax with the reading too. I had a lot going on, so.
Yeah. Well, I love the enthusiasm about these books,
Yeah.
and what I even love more is that we don't have to stop, because this is where we normally would stop.
I know.
That's right.
I know.
And we would like come back, and Judy would say,
I don't know. What do I say?
what-
We're back.
Oh my God, I can't remember what I do.
So we don't have to do that. We can go jump right into books, booze, banter. We already bantered, so now it's we don't have one for the topic. Books, booze, and banter.
Well, bantering is our
What do you
could be our
Well,
topic.
we banter in the beginning, but I don't know that we really banter. You research your topics. We all research the
Yeah.
topics. So
Fresh pink topics.
yes.
Well, it's kind of bantering too,
It is.
like,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we all join in and it's pretty informal. Yeah.
Yes.
So
yes. Well, what's today's?
obviously to the people watching it.
What's everybody okay with their wine?
Yes.
Yes,
This is
we
what
I
we
really
normally
think it's
add more to our glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take a little more.
Okay. Are you trusting me with pouring? Because
Yeah,
you know
this-
how I
I'm
screw
wearing
up.
She's
White,
very
don't
sloppy. I have
slap
a cloth here.
All right, that's good.
I'll have a smidge more, please.
You trust me?
No, I'll hold it over your pants.
She's wearing white pants.
Well, they're light blue.
They're
They're
light blue. They're down.
acid wash.
Stop. Thank you.
In the name of love, before you pour me more.
Oh God.
Think it
Okay,
all
stop.
over.
You should have
Stop.
thought that over.
Stop. Okay, so anyways, on to today's topic.
Yes.
Yes.
So
You got it.
today's topic is mine. I'll be hosting it,
Yeah.
running it, whatever.
Yeah.
Is the history of Valentine's Day. Since Valentine's.
apropos.
I
Your
thought
red book.
so. I really
Wow.
thought so too. So anyway, I wanted to do this.
What is that?
This was part of the banter.
Well, do it now.
I learned a new word
Oh,
on
we'll do that.
dictionary.com.
Let's do that.
And the word is nomophobia.
Nomophobia.
Does anybody know what
You got-
nomophobia
Well, a
means?
fear of
Nomophobia.
A fear of nuts.
Nomo. Fear of names.
No.
Ooh, that was a good guess though. A
No.
fear of something. Nomenclature. Names, people's names, nomenclature.
Fear of forgetting names.
No. It
Are
has
we-
nothing to do with names.
Oh, really?
okay.
Okay, then I'm out.
Okay, it's very like current.
No more Santos.
No more Santos. Yeah, and no more Trump.
Right, yeah.
No more
DeSantos.
Republicans.
So what is it?
Okay. It's the anxiety caused by being without access to a functioning cell phone. No mobile. No mo.
Oh,
And you know, like when you can't
wow.
find your phone.
You said I was in your car.
Yeah, I
thought
know,
left it-
panicking.
I thought it was.
That's good. I'll use that one. That's a good one.
But
Yeah.
but in reality, this is my work. I mean, this is pretty
Yeah.
much
Right.
And all the
And I don't have a landline, so my cell phone is
Is-
my lifeline to
Yeah.
the world, and I
Wow.
live by myself. I mean, I live downstairs for my kids, but still,
Yeah.
you know, when you're driving,
Wow, and that was
And-
where did you get it?
dictionary.com.
Dictionary.
I'm
I love
surprised
it.
we haven't heard that because
I
it's
know.
very-
So, but actually, it's not the first time that was a word, nomophobia. In the, it came across in the late 2000s. They said nomophobia, the way we understand it. But at the turn of the 19th century,
Ooh.
it meant fear of laws.
Laws.
Laws, L-A-W-S. It's from the Greek nomos, which means law, and nomophobia.
So why didn't they choose a new word?
Because no mobile. No is no mobile.
All right. So what? But what do we talk about? Fear of laws now. There's some people who do like look at New Hampshire.
If you're a criminal. Yes, that's true. Yeah,
You know,
live free or die.
Live free
Yeah.
or die, not paying
Yeah.
my taxes.
Yeah, and because
yeah.
libertarians.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but anyway,
Interesting.
now it's
What
used
kind of
for-
nomophobia do you have? Is it
Yes,
laws
exactly.
or cell phone?
Yeah.
Oh.
So anyway, I thought that was
That was-
an
that was
interesting
useful.
one.
I
It's a
like
fun
it.
one, yeah. So we'll have to use it. I often, excuse me, I don't know what's wrong with my throat today.
Take a drink of seltzer.
Have a chocolate.
Oh, that would make
No,
it
that'll
worse.
make it worse.
Would you like one?
I would, but I'm not having one right now.
You don't want to eat chocolate on camera?
No, I'll eat chocolate on camera. I just won't stop eating chocolate on camera.
Yeah, me too. But I often think of our word podcast that we did, and was Schadenfreude. And I often think of the other day, I said, oh my God, Peggy, that's Schadenfreude. Because you hear about bad things that happen to some people. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this.
Well, you know what's happening? It's because we're doing the whole thing in one take, and
That's right.
And you've got a break.
I taught my daughter about barigamus.
Oh,
Just
really?
recently, because she heard my stomach rumble, and I go, "Oh, excuse my barigamus," and she says, "What's that?" And I said, and then she goes, "Oh," she goes, "I get that all the time." I said, "Well, then you can say,
Your
excuse my
barigama.
barigamus," and then people will be like, "You are the smartest person in this room." You just say it.
But you know, I know Peggy loves doing it, and words are fun.
They are. Words are a lot of
Yeah.
fun. And there's so many words that I don't know.
Yeah.
And all of us
yeah.
don't know.
Right.
Like
Oh,
I started
definitely.
doing dictionary.com has a lot of games also.
Yeah.
So I just recently started doing a game called Outspell, and what it is really is Scrabble that you play against the bot.
Right, okay.
And this bot uses words. I said, that's not a word. I'm always looking them up. And I said, my God, it is a word. But
Yeah, they're-
sometimes they use a word that I can't find in the dictionary, on the
Oh.
online the Google dictionary. But dictionary.com is a British website.
Oh,
So I
okay.
guess, I don't know, maybe
Oh,
they use.
interesting.
But it's
Wow.
a lot of fun, and
Yeah.
I'm learning a lot of words, and now I'm getting much better at the game because I said, oh, that is a word. They used it the last time.
Right.
So.
No, it is good to know.
Yeah.
That's
we need
fun.
more. We need more words to describe wines because that's something
Well, we need
Yes.
education about
do.
wine.
Right, and we are going to have
Yeah.
somebody, she's been in
We do.
contact with me, she's got something going on in her life right now, but she will be doing it with us.
I don't know if she's a sommelier or,
No,
but
she
she's a
writes-
wine salesman.
But she also writes for different magazines about wine and that kind
Yeah.
of
We
stuff. So she definitely knows more than I know.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
really need some education here.
Yeah,
Right. So I'm
yeah.
not
That's
sure
why I go on. I actually have it here for another podcast, I guess. For my next one, I'm gonna do, and these are Cabernet Sauvignon facts that I got from Wine
nice.
Folly. It's very interesting,
Okay.
and like you learn a little. The problem is understanding it sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, say, okay, I really don't know what you're talking about. So, but anyway, this is all wine stuff. I don't need this. I need this, and I need this. So on now with the history of Valentine's Day.
Bring it on.
So now I have a question for you guys.
Okay.
All right, Carol, because we're about the same age.
Right.
Judy's,
A little
I'm a
younger.
lot
younger. She is a lot younger.
Yeah, but that's good.
When you were a little girl,
Yes.
did your family, like, did your dad or your mom buy you, like, a Valentine present?
Oh, no. No.
Me neither. And, you know, at first I was thinking, I said, maybe I just don't remember it. So I got on, we have a little chat with my sisters, and I said, hey, do you guys remember when we were little ever getting a Valentine's present? And I was like, no way, no.
No.
I don't know if it was a thing back then. Like, maybe you just gave it to your sweetheart, or,
Well, maybe you've got this in your research. Do we know when it became more traditional to give Valentines?
oh yeah, but it's really for lovers. I'm just
Right,
talking
right,
about
right.
like with your kids.
Right.
When my kids were little, well, how about you? When you were little, did your parents get you a Valentine?
My dad always got us a Valentine,
Aw.
and
Okay.
right before I came here too, because he's with my daughters now, he walked in with a bunch of roses and
Aw.
chocolates because in advance of Valentine's
Right,
Day,
right.
and for not just for me but also for my daughters. So yeah,
Yeah.
my dad is the best daddy,
Yeah.
and so he always gave us Valentine's,
Yeah.
gifts, and so still
Yeah.
does.
And
Yeah.
it gives your mom?
Oh, of course. Yeah,
Because
of
my
course.
parents
Yeah.
never really. The only thing that we did, not when I say we, it was you. They started when you fill out all those Valentines at school. You bring them to school and you have to gift it.
Oh, okay.
And back when I was a kid, it wasn't like, well, you have to give everyone. It was like, well, it's up to you who you want to give to.
Right.
Yeah.
So we won't go there.
Yeah.
But anyway,
But I know that my brother Kevin, one of my sisters, reminded me that he, when he was a teenager, he used to buy a box of chocolates, a candy heart, from my mom all the time.
Aw,
So I don't know if my dad did, if he bought flowers or anything. I don't have a recollection of it. But when my kids were little, my husband always bought them a candy heart box.
Oh, that's
and he bought one for me too. He always
Right,
did that.
That's my favorite Valentine gift. I tell that
What is what?
is a candy heart box. I have to tell you, like I
But the
do.
chocolates aren't that good in it.
They are. I like it. It's like once a
They
year.
are.
I don't know. I almost bought you ladies the candy heart box too, but I was like, no. So I got cake. I got cake and said we're gonna eat this later. But no, that I don't
Yeah.
know why, but there's something cheesy about it, and I.
Yeah.
But I always, my husband's like,
But
what do you
wait,
want
well,
for
it's
Valentine's?
kinda
I'm like,
traditional.
just get me a little. And I always say with the directions. Like I like to know.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
you know,
the Whitman's square
something
one.
like
They
that.
had
They have
the
directions in them, and I go, I'm
like, oh, no, I don't
know
want that
why,
one. Oh, no,
but
yeah.
I really like that.
Yeah, I used
Yeah.
to like getting the Whitmans, not the heart ones. The Whitmans had the paper in it that told you what was
Right.
what the candy was, so then I could pick out. I always loved the orange creams.
Oh, you could have
Really?
that.
Oh
Yeah,
my
you
god,
could have
I
mine
love
too.
orange
I like
Yeah, I
creams.
was-
coconuts. Or
Oh, I
Yeah,
love-
I like
yeah.
I like coconuts. I like nuts. I like
Yeah.
the chocolate covered cherries.
Yes. Oh my
Oh,
God.
I
yeah.
love those cherries.
Oh, I love them.
Then you and I.
My
love the
sister
cherries.
Nora used to love them. They were her favorite candy.
My dad, like for Christmas, he would love the chocolate covered cherries. And,
Yeah.
And I always every Christmas.
But like,
I do
did
that.
you? I don't want to hijack your topic,
No.
but I mean, like, like that's for me. Like, I just want, you just want to be remembered. I never
Yeah.
wanted like jewelry or anything like that. Like,
Oh,
what about
no.
you ladies? Did you were you wanting, had big expectations that
No.
for
No,
Valentine's Day?
no.
No.
Yeah.
No, not at all. I
no.
mean, I wouldn't even have cared if I didn't get the box of candy. My husband
Right.
just did it
Yeah.
because he was giving the girls something, and then the girls used to make a Valentine for me, or sometimes
that's
they buy
nice.
the little, like my husband, the little tiny box.
Oh,
or,
yeah.
Right.
you
Yeah.
know,
No.
so-
I would when I was married. I would get flowers, and I'm not a fan of flowers. I really am not. I'm like, what a
Why do
waste.
you not like flowers?
I just don't. I just don't want flowers. Like I'm allergic. Number one, some were so I would have allergies to them. I'd be allergic to them. Be creative. No,
We're judging you.
no, seriously.
I love flowers.
No, I just feel like it's not creative. It's like, oh yeah, that's the easy way. I
No,
get
but
it.
they're
Okay,
beautiful.
whatever.
It's like somebody
I like
saying
these little
beauty
flowers.
to the beauty.
Those are very. Cool.
I know, that's very cute.
I
like
planted
this.
those.
Yeah,
In the
but I
yard.
bought it
What
for
are they,
myself.
tea roses?
Yes.
Oh yeah, they have little thorns on
Yeah.
them too.
Yeah, so we'll see
Oh,
how
so
long.
you could transplant
We'll see
them.
how
them in
long.
the garden.
Okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
need the two of you.
No,
I'm
I
gonna need
know.
the two of you.
Okay.
I need that to kill 'em.
yeah.
All right, so let's
That's
stick
good.
to the Valentine's.
All right, so anyway, let's stick with the Valentine's thing. So anyway, the history of Valentine's Day. All right, my first question is what you guys did and how about now? And so I'll give you some trivia, Valentine's Day trivia.
Ooh, I love
All right,
trivia.
so there
Let's talk
are
about it.
1 billion cards exchanged worldwide every Valentine's Day.
Okay.
Okay, and I don't have the rest of the information on this. Either I forgot it or I just didn't write it down. But the first Valentine's Day took place on February 14th, 1400.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, Valentine's Day is a very old holiday.
So it
It's-
wasn't created by Hallmark.
No, it was not. They Americanized it.
Yeah.
But Valentine's Day actually replaced a pagan festival, a Roman festival of Lupercalia. And it was, they did this celebration in the middle of February every year, and it was officially the start of their spring. And what they did was, it was a celebration of, it was a fertility thing. So the men in the villages used to get naked, not kidding, and they used to slaughter a goat and slaughter a dog.
No.
And then they would strip the hide of the goat and
No.
into strips and dip it in the dog's blood. And the women in the village used to line up. No, they used to line up, and the men used to gently whip them with the bloody strips of goat, and that's supposed to help the women be fertile. And then they would pair off, and it was like a big sex feast. That's what it was.
They pair off like with their spouses or just with anybody who whipped them?
No, well, I guess you wouldn't do it if you were already married. I guess it was the single women, and because it was a fertility thing. And then, like, they would pair off sometimes just temporarily. Sometimes it would be until the next, it depends on the town, until the next festival. And then they would either get married or leave each other.
Where did you find this? Because I've
never heard.
History.com.
Jeez.
Yes. So,
Why does something have to die?
yeah, so,
I got it.
thank you.
Okay, so
Why?
we went from gutting goats and dogs
Right.
and being whipped by naked men.
Yes. So the Catholic Church,
blood.
actually, I'm trying to remember
this?
when
Of course,
they did
They
this.
have to get involved.
But I hope they got involved.
Okay, so, and this is very ancient, like the ancient Romans.
Okay.
All right, so in 496 AD,
Wow.
Pope Gelasius marked 214 as a celebration in honor of St. Valentine's martyrdom, because they were trying to get away from those pagan rituals.
I would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
all right, that's
St.
good.
Valentine's Day, which St. Valentine it is very murky, because there's 3 St. Valentines.
Oh, interesting.
I did not know that.
You know, I didn't know that either. So there's a couple of different things. So several legends surrounding St. Valentine's. The most common is on 214 during the 3rd century. A man named Valentine was executed by Claudius II after being imprisoned for assisting persecuted Christians and secretly marrying Christian couples in love. He tried to convert Claudius, because he and Claudius actually had like this relationship, like they would discuss things, but then Valentine tried to convert Claudius and he got really angry with him and had him executed. So that's one of them. Another one is the blind daughter of a prison guard while he was in prison. Valentine was in prison.
Okay.
Prayed with Valentine. And then she was cured miraculously. All of a sudden she could see.
Wow.
So then on the eve of it, so he was executed. That they wanted to get rid of him for doing that. So
Right.
that's
Well,
what-
the guard,
but on the
the
eve,
guard for praying to him. They
well,
killed
Claudius was still around.
So he killed
they
him
didn't
too?
want to. Well, Christians were being persecuted like crazy, and he was a Christian, and he ended up being a martyr because he was in prison and he wouldn't deny his faith. So then on the eve of his execution, he penned a note and signed it, "From your Valentine," to the blind girl.
Oh.
So that's another one of the legends. Then there's a third, but I don't remember it, and I don't think I wrote it down. So in 1913, Hallmark cards began mass producing the Valentines.
Oh, okay.
So,
All right.
and in 1969, the Catholic Church removed Saint Valentine from the general Roman calendar because there's so little known about him, because it was such a long time ago. But he's still recognized as a saint.
Right.
But which one? We don't know which one, right? It could be one.
No,
of
it's
3.
all very murky. Even though nobody knows. It was such a long
Interesting.
time ago, and there weren't a lot of,
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So.
Well, I mean, when you were researching this, were you just like, oh my God, like was it just like?
I know
Yeah.
it was very confusing, and there was a lot of conflicting information too. So
Oh, okay. All right.
you know, but all of it was pretty much the same, but just little tiny differences. And then I think I said this before, in 496 AD, Pope Gelasius
Right.
marked 214 as in honor of him. All right, he's also the patron saint of a lot of things.
Valentine.
You know,
Yeah.
Valentine. So
Right.
you know some of them, right?
Right.
Do it? I don't know. Do it?
Well, he's the patron saint of lovers,
Oh,
right?
yes.
Because it's
Okay.
all about love. He's the patron saint of engaged couples.
Right.
He's the patron saint of beekeepers.
Oh, yay.
Yeah.
Look at that.
He's the patron saint of epilepsy. He's the patron
Epilepsy.
saint of fainting.
Well, maybe swooning. You know that's.
Oh yeah, that's true.
He's the patron saint of plagues and the patron saint of travelers. along with St. Christopher, I guess.
Right,
St.
right.
Christopher is also, and the patron saints of young people. And there was, the list was much longer. I got tired of writing it. So he's like the patron saint of everything. So
I think this was very interesting because I think a lot of people think that it was this, it's
yeah,
it's a
Cupid.
made-up holiday.
You get Cupid
It's
in
a
your
made-up
mind.
holiday.
Yeah.
But really, it does have history to it that is
Right.
based on something. In the
yeah,
back.
yeah.
But like you said,
Like most of our holiday customs, it started with pagans,
right,
pagan
right,
religions.
and
yeah.
it's like you said though, you know, it started so long ago, and and we
Yeah.
think Hallmark.
All right, so
Yeah.
but you know what? To be fair, a Hallmark card or to be whipped by a dead dog.
I know.
I think I'd go for
Me
the
too.
card.
No, I don't want to be whipped with dog
But
blood.
it does make you wonder where these people back in that day thought this is a good idea. This
Well,
makes sense, but you
But you see it. I mean, you could see it because I mean, to this day, there are people, there are cultures which still believe certain animal parts give them virility. And they're like we're not
Well, people eating oysters,
right,
you know.
aphrodisiac. So
Yeah. Mhm.
perhaps that was something
Yeah.
to do with that. This is, and
Well,
then
maybe in a couple of thousand years, people are going to look back on Christianity and say, how did those people believe
Right.
that there was a God
Right,
and
right.
they could be good and then they're going to end up in heaven?
Right,
and
right.
It's
Yeah.
really, they could
Them.
look back at,
Sure.
today
Absolutely.
as those people were crazy.
I do,
There is
but
no
I
God,
still- I look at it today.
Why? But anyway, so one of the first documented Valentines but a Valentine sent to someone
Okay.
was in 1415. It was documented and it's in a museum somewhere, I think in Britain.
Ooh.
So Charles, the Duke of Orleans, in 1415, while he was in prison, during, I don't know which war it was, when England was always at war with people in the Middle Ages, but he got captured in the Battle of Agincourt and they imprisoned him. He was married. And in prison, he pens a poem to his wife.
I love poems.
Yeah.
Yes, we want
And
that
he
for
was
April.
imprisoned in the Tower of London. And this is the poem. It's very short. My very gentle Valentine, since for me you were born too soon, and I for you was born too late, God forgives him who has estranged me from you for the whole year. I am already sick of love, my very gentle Valentine.
I'm sick of love.
He's very sick from love, like he's sick from being parted from her.
Oh, okay.
It turns out that he married her when she was 11 years old.
Oh, why?
Did it say how old
She was, I didn't say, but he wasn't that much
That's
older.
why she was born
Yeah.
too soon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
and he too late.
Yeah.
But
That makes sense.
But the first time he got married, he was like 6 years old. Because back then they were
That's what
trying
they
to
did.
get,
They
like
did that.
the succession ready.
They sure did.
So
Yeah.
he was in prison for 25 years and he never saw her again.
Oh my God.
So yeah, and her name was Bonnie of Armagno.
I wonder what happened to her.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, there's so much information out there. I mean, you could, read and read and read. That's what I was doing, clicking on links. And I said, okay, I need to stop now.
But when I take notes, I take them in my laptop. Like you have no desire to do that.
No,
Either.
I do it in
I
this.
love writing.
My sister
Yeah.
bought this for me for Christmas a couple of years ago, and I love
yeah.
it. So I wasn't using it, and I said, when we started the podcast, I said, I'll use it for the podcast.
I used to have such good writing, but
Yeah.
I'm not anymore. And
I
have to.
handwrite.
I wish I was neat like I used to be, but
So who do you think are the number one recipients of Valentine's cards?
who
do you
are
mean?
the recipients?
Yeah, the number one, the group that's the number one
Kids.
recipients
Oh,
Kids.
of Valentine's
I'm
cards.
going to say mothers.
Teachers.
Oh, really?
Teachers are the number one recipients. How about this one? Everybody remember conversation hearts?
Yes,
Yeah.
I love them. I almost bought those too.
There are 8 billion conversation hearts a year.
They're tasty.
I don't care for them.
No, I don't care for
I
them, but
do.
when I was a kid, I used to love to get
love
them. Oh my
those,
God,
yeah.
and read them to each other. And almost over $1 billion worth of chocolate is purchased every Valentine's Day.
Can we talk again just for a bit about the cat?
Sure.
There's this article that came out in the Times. It says the candy that says a lot about society. Back in the day, it used to be on the cards 23 Skidoo.
Oh yeah, I remember it's
Or Hubba
Well,
Hubba.
I don't remember personally.
Now it's like Mean Me, and it has and it has like
I love
it
that.
has more puppy love, like that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
when I was a kid, they had
What
I
does it
love
say?
you.
Right.
BAE. What does that mean?
Is it be?
Bae. Hey, bae, instead of baby. A lot of people use that expression now, bae.
Don't use
So-
that with
Yeah, no, and that's what a lot of people say, don't call me bae.
Don't
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
it has like, they've changed a lot of the ones, like you the best, fearless, good job. I think we've already seen it.
My girl's got one. It's a goat, greatest of all
All
time.
time, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So they
Okay.
do change the wording on them, but
Well, thank goodness. You know,
right?
they need to keep up with the times
Well,
if
like-
they want to stay in business.
like, can you imagine like giving somebody says 23 Skidoo?
I know, they would say, what?
Yeah, I'm saying one. I'm trying to
I'm
even know what
Skidoo.
I
that
don't know
means.
what that.
Well,
I've never heard of
skidoo
that.
means to leave.
Right.
And
But why
23 had something to do with the year. I think it was 1923.
We'll have to. We'll
I
have
used to know
research
that.
it.
Yeah, we'll have to research that.
But okay, so all right.
Okay, so around 1850, the Cadbury Company created the first box of chocolates for Valentine's. The first box of chocolates. And a decade later, the first heart-shaped box was
Oh,
Cadbury did that.
That's a
Oh,
good one.
really? Cadbury. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
250 million roses are grown for Valentine's each year.
Wow.
See, I'm not a rose
Now,
recipient.
what kind
I
of
don't
flower
know.
are you?
I love daisies, but now
daisies.
Daisies are
zinnias
my
because I've
favorite.
started growing.
daisies are your favorite?
my
I
favorite
started
flower.
growing my own zinnias, so now I'm
Yeah.
like obsessed with zinnias. But daisies
Yeah.
are always a
Yeah,
classic.
I
Did
love
you
daisies.
always
Yeah.
do He Loves Me Not on the daisies?
Oh, I don't do that.
We used to do
Yeah.
it with dandelions too.
Yeah, no, I just.
So yeah.
How could you do it with a dandelion?
Yeah, you can pull up the petals on dandelions.
That's an awful lot of petals for a dandelion.
You had a little more chances of being loved.
And not. You have a lot of
That's
chance of
right.
not being loved. But yeah, no, that was, Or you'd hold the buttercup under your chin.
Yes.
Did you ever do that?
And see
Yes.
something with the yellow on it?
Yeah, you saw a reflection or
Yes.
something. Yeah.
Oh, no, I never did that.
Yeah, that was like.
No, we used to blow up the dandelions and
Well,
make
yeah.
a wish.
Right. Yeah.
So
Okay, I'm sorry.
in Verona, and I'm gonna look into this more too because I ran out of
That's sorry,
time.
baby.
But in Verona, Italy, there's a custom of everybody sends love letters to Juliet.
Oh.
Yeah, because that Juliet,
Lacey
that's
doesn't
where
like-
Yes,
Romeo
I
and
think
Juliet.
that's true because they made a movie about that. They made a movie
Oh,
with
okay.
I can't remember any of the actors, but I saw it not about a year or so ago. Yes, and then
Oh, okay.
people would leave letters to Juliet,
Yeah.
and it's a subject of a movie, and I don't know the
Oh.
name of it, but
I was in Verona, and like you could visit a little alleyway where the balcony is,
Oh, wow.
where Juliet stood, and
But was she a real person?
No.
she
no,
wasn't
but
a
in
real
Verona
person.
there's
Yeah.
a big thing,
She wasn't
Juliet
real.
of Verona,
No.
and you
Okay.
go and you could actually touch. I think you rub the boob of a statue or something for good luck. I have photos of it. I'll have to
Yeah,
bring
you
them the
rub the
next
boob
time.
of a
I'll rub them boobs
I'm not
all
right
over.
up any boobs.
Okay, and I already did that. And on Valentine's Day each year, there's approximately 220,000 proposals on Valentine's
Oh, wow.
Day.
I'm glad my
So-
husband didn't propose on
I
Valentine's
know,
Day.
it's
That-
just too
Yeah.
I wouldn't
It's
have liked
kinda
that.
cheesy.
It is kind
Yeah.
of cheesy. Don't do it. Just
Yeah.
don't do it.
Women purchase 85% of Valentine's souls.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
all right.
That's
Okay.
not true for me.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Okay, so now, this I found out and I thought this was fascinating because I had never, ever heard of this. Oh, first of all, this is a local news. Local news. The oldest first documented Valentine in the United States is addressed to the Townsend's daughter, Sarah. You know the Townsends, Robert Townsend,
Right. Oh,
he
yeah.
started the
Yeah,
spy ring,
Yeah.
right on Long Island.
Yeah.
Uh,
They used to talk it, probably.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. they lived in where Rainham Hall is in Oyster Bay. They all lived in Oyster Bay. Okay, so addressed to Townsend's daughter Sarah by occupying officer John Graves Simcoe. And
Simcoe?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Why, are you related?
He was like supposedly a very bad guy, wasn't he?
I don't know, but he was a British soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, and presented to her on February 14th, 1779. The Valentine alludes to the difficulty of loving an enemy. I'm not going to read the poem because it's very long.
I want to see the picture. I don't know if you can.
But you could also go to Rainham Hall and see it because Rainham Hall, the museum in Oyster Bay, has this Valentine there. Yeah, I didn't know about
I
this.
think that's the guy that's like the evil guy in the when I watched about this.
Oh, you watched Turn?
Turn.
Yeah,
I think Simcoe is that like really creepy.
Well, I mean, he was in love with one of the Townsend's
Yes,
daughters.
he was.
Yeah, he looks creepy looking.
Yeah.
But anyway, I didn't even know about this, and yesterday Jessica and I took a walk up at the park, and I was telling her about the subject, and she said, "Oh, are you going to talk about in Rainham Hall, like the first Valentine in the United States?" And I said, "Oh my God, I had no idea."
Yeah, that's really
so I'm glad that she brought it up to me. But the most interesting thing that I found out were about vinegar Valentines. In the Victorian era, people, if you wanted to send it, because people were like Valentine's crazy back then.
Right.
For those not on good terms or who wanted to fend off an enemy or an unwanted suitor, vinegar Valentines offered a stinging alternative of the millions of cards that was sent. Nearly half of them were vinegar Valentines.
Wow.
What would that be? Like how like they would make something out of vinegar?
samples.
Oh.
Lacey, no.
This is the sample of a vinegar Valentine that you would send. It was usually a folded piece of paper, and you could actually buy them. There were companies who started making them. So read that, Judy.
Okay, 'tis a lemon that I hand you and bid you now skidoo. There you go.
Oh.
Because I love another, there is no chance for you. Where were these when
I know, right? Okay.
Oh my God, I love
so then we have this one here.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh boy, this is going to be a little
Here,
hard
I'll
even
read
for me to read. Okay, you want to read it? Can you
Yes.
see it? It's very small.
The kiss of the bottle is your heart's delight and fuddled you real home to bed every night. What care you for damsels, no matter how fair? Apart from your liquor, you're no love to spare.
You've no love to
You've no
spare.
love to spare.
And so it's a picture of a drunken man on a lamppost. Can you imagine getting one of these?
That's hysterical. I
Okay.
have fun
And
sending
this
them
is
out.
to a modern woman.
Oh.
To a modern woman, you've got the vote and you think it's your mission to go to the polls like a bum politician. And while you are voting, your husband must roam for something to eat, which he can't find at home.
Oh, poor
He's
guy.
getting dyspepsia and can't work for pain. Your children neglected ask for you in vain. While you make speeches from a broken soapbox, your family is wearing soiled clothes and torn socks.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. I think we would get a lot of those.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
And then this one here is one of my favorites. So this is a look at the woman there, and she has a whole bunch of books in her arms, and she's reading, and she's all disheveled.
That's some nice red shoes.
So here, you have your glasses on,
Okay,
so
I'll
you
read
can
that.
read that.
Okay. Pray, do you ever mend your clothes or comb your hair? Well, I suppose you've got no time, for people say you're reading novels all the day.
I love that.
And so this is just a sample of them. I found more of them on there, but I was so pleased
That's
with
awesome.
that.
We have to send that
I
one.
know.
That is awesome.
And I just thought that, I said, oh my God, I've never heard of such a thing. So what happened was it became like a big trend. And then people started realizing how mean it was, because they did send really mean ones.
Although in this
and
day
then
and
it's
age,
dwindled
I can
out.
see Hallmark. You got to rejuvenate these, because I could see people buying them in this day and age, just for shits and giggles. You know.
Yeah. But you know, it really hurt somebody's feelings too. So.
Well, maybe some people's feelings need to be hurt.
Yeah, I guess so.
But
I
that's
guess so.
very
But I think that's all the information.
All
I
right.
have,
So do you all have a memorable Valentine's Day? What, albeit good or bad?
No. I did wear hearts and hearts.
I wear hearts,
and
too.
no one paid attention. Oh, you did? Yes.
Yeah.
I said it before. Oh, I have I went to Old Navy because I have nothing red, so I said, let me see if I can find a Valentine's shirt. This was the only one that they had in the whole store.
Wow.
And it's kind of big, but I said, I'll get it.
Love always fun. I don't have. No, I mean I guess when my kids were a little older and I would somehow celebrate with them, that kind of thing. But no, how about
Okay.
you?
Well, what about Peg? Nothing?
Well, actually, it's just something. I was very young, and like I had this crush on this guy, and we were dating for a very short while, and then he broke off with me because, you know, like I was still a virgin and I wasn't giving it up, and I guess and
She's
I
a
was,
good girl.
I was a good Catholic girl until
Yeah.
like a long time, and like we kind of stopped seeing each other. It wasn't an official breakup, but then it was over. And but I did get a Valentine's card from him.
Oh.
And he said, and I remember getting that. And I said, oh my God. And it said, Valentine's, I like you, but then again, I've always liked sweet things.
Oh,
And it meant so much to me, even though like he broke up with me. I said, oh, and I really liked him so much.
So he felt bad that he broke up with you.
Yeah.
How
Well,
about
he
you?
probably mailed it before.
Oh God.
I mean, we've never been, like, you know, for any, like, it's just, you know, it's not how I love Valentine's Day with my family, with my husband. It's
Right,
always
right.
been good. But I think the first time if I think back to Valentine's Day, I remember, like, getting, like, a real Valentine from, like, somebody that I didn't know liked me. And that's
Yeah.
when I worked at the Hallmark store. And there was a guy there who I worked with, and didn't friendly, but didn't know anything. And then at the end of the night, he called me to the stock room. Oh, what? And he gave me this stuffed animal with a ribbon around it, and it was just so cute. And I remember thinking, like, oh, he goes, oh, happy Valentine's Day. And I had to be 16 or 17
Yeah,
or something, you know. And I remember like.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's really interesting. Because
Yeah.
before then it would just be like my dad or my friends in high school sending carnations to each other, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, it was something. That was.
That's cool. How about you?
No, I said no.
Did you never get a Valentine growing up?
What do you mean, growing up?
Like growing up in school or from
Well, we
boyfriends?
probably did
or-
from. If I did, I have no memory of it.
Really?
I really nothing.
Oh, okay.
But I'm okay with that. It's not like, oh, what me? No,
It's okay.
Do you think it's become too commercial now?
That's what I think. My mindset has always been like, well, this is a holiday that we're forced upon us, and there's a lot of other days of the year that you give me attention. Don't put it all into that one day. That's my thinking.
Well, I don't think that's what it is. I
No,
mean,
I'm
I think
saying
that,
that's how I perceive it. I'm not
No,
saying
but
what it is.
I never felt that way, even though, like on Valentine's Day, I got a box of candy. I didn't feel like, oh, only on Valentine's Day do you love me. I don't know. I
But
never
it's a
felt
good
that way.
excuse, I think, for those who are tentative or to make an overture. Like that boy, who.
Yeah,
well, that's
it's
true.
It's a good excuse to just take that extra
Yeah.
step to have a little courage. So if you're thinking of it, take an extra step to
Yeah.
somebody who you may not be with, or
Yeah.
just to let them know that you care about them. I think it's awesome.
That was a really
That was very educating.
Another good
Always
time.
count on Peggy to give us the facts.
Always.
Always. You
But
did-
we're
you
going to
did
see
great.
if it's on camera now because we're doing this whole new
We have no
camera.
idea.
So
No.
I'm hoping it.
I hope so, because then we'll have to act surprised that we don't know all these
I
facts
know.
again.
I know.
I know this, Peggy.
Our next podcast is going to be, you're going to be doing the topic, and you want to just tell them what it's
Oh,
going
a
to be?
little teaser. Yes.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to talk about topics that are kind of related. Public shaming and boycotting.
Okay.
I'm very interested.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, not sure where it's really going yet,
Yeah,
and I should know, but
And one thing I think that this camera does is picks up sound a lot better than the other one, because you're going to hear Lacey's running around a little bit. That's my little multi-poo. So just want you to know that that's
Oh,
what
did you
want.
hear her?
She was, yeah.
Oh,
I didn't
did.
even hear her.
she's
tend-
sitting in the
now
bed
she is,
right
but
now.
yeah, because I
She's
kinda-
such a good.
We heard it on the other
She's
camera too,
such a good
and Sherlock's
My
little
girl.
But you
tag
you
in the
said
middle.
when we did the one for on the road book events, you go, what's that clicking sound?
Oh,
You did
okay.
say that.
Okay.
But okay, so we'll be back for the next podcast.
Bye,
We'll see you
everybody.
then.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yes, happy Valentine's Day. Yay.
Hello, Lucy.
Get your one a box of heart-shaped chocolates with the directions.